The Third Amendment doesn't get much airtime. It's short, it's rarely cited, and for most of us, it's easy to overlook. But the people who wrote it had a reason. They had lived through a time when the government could send soldiers into your home with no notice and no consent. You'd be expected to feed them, house them, hand over your privacy because the king said so. So they drew a line. They wrote, "No soldier in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law." It wasn't just about soldiers. It was about space. It was about boundaries. It was about who gets to use your home and your life for government purposes. Because that idea, that line, it wasn't meant to stop at your front door. Today, home isn't just where you sleep. It's your data, your messages, your camera, your cloud. It's the digital space where you live every day. And just like no soldier should be quartered in your house with no consent, no government agency should be quartered in your phone, or your inbox, or the apps that track your every move. The Third Amendment wasn't just about physical occupation, it was about intrusion. And in a world where surveillance can happen without a knock on the door, it's worth asking whether we've handed over space that the founders would have fought to protect. Today, that line hasn't moved, but the world around it has. We're not hosting redcoats and spare bedrooms, but we do live with devices that listen, cameras that record, and systems that store our information in places we don't control. And while most of that feels helpful or harmless, it's worth asking, what are the boundaries now? What does it mean to keep a space private? What happens if that line ever gets crossed again? The Third Amendment reminds us that the founders knew what it was like to have a government get too close, too controlling, too inside. So they put up guardrails, some of which we've forgotten, but that doesn't make them less relevant. 234 years later, this quiet little amendment still says your home is your own, consent matters, and power has limits. So read the fine print, know the lines, and remember the ones who wrote this knew tyranny well, and they gave us the tools that we still need, even the forgotten ones.